to another episode of Platinum Prime for Life, your show where Karen and I share our tips, our tricks, and our life hacks to live a Platinum Prime life. And so today you'll notice that we have three of us on camera. That's because today we're delighted to welcome Dr. Lori Puskar. She's a functional medicine doctor, chiropractor, educator, and a woman's wellness expert. Perfect for us. Who has spent decades helping women understand what their bodies have been trying to tell them. She works with women who are tired of being told that feeling exhausted, out of balance, or just not themselves is simply part of getting older. Instead of treating symptoms one at a time, she looks for the underlying causes so women can regain their health and vitality. And literally, that's what we're all about, health and vitality and living life at a Platinum Prime level. Dr. Lori is also a respected educator, and she's trained other healthcare practitioners in functional medicine and clinical nutrition. Her passion is helping women understand their health and giving them practical steps to feel their best. Welcome, Dr. Lori.
Hello, thank you.
Before we actually start all the questions, explain to me what functional medicine is.
All right, great. So first I'm going to almost start by comparing it to what it's not. So what everyone knows about is what I call nutrition. Nutrition has been around for centuries. And that takes into basic diet and nutritional habits. You know, it brought and discovered the world of nutritional supplements as a whole. It's very limited, though, because by definition, you're only talking about nutrition, and sometimes you need more. And so everyone's familiar with the opposite side, which is medicine. That's, I don't need to, define that. But that is the most medical and, let's say, severe or aggressive approach that you can take, where you are completely not doing nutrition, and it's all based on medicine, symptoms, and drugs. Functional medicine is literally the happy medium between nutrition and medicine, is that you not only have all of the value, all of the resources that you have from trying to do it as safe and naturally as possible from nutrition, but then you also have all of the advantages of what science and medicine has discovered over the past several hundred years and all of the wonderful diagnostic tests that they now have. So I love having all of the opportunity to use the medical brilliance to my advantage, but with the sole purpose of trying to apply simplified or the most easy natural nutritional approaches possible. So what's in the middle there is known as functional medicine, because it's not only the medical viewpoint, but more importantly, you're looking at function and how the organs, the systems in your biochemistry are working and or not working, hence the word functional medicine. So it has literally brought the best of both worlds together, and in my opinion, and why I do it, is where the real magic happens.
I love that, because the word functional is talking about what's working. We could call it, instead of calling it functional medicine, we could call it workable medicine.
Right, exactly. Functional nutritional, functional health, all of those words, but the one that they've decided on, I don't know who makes these decisions, but functional as the medicine is the one everyone's decided on. So we're going to go with that.
I like it. When I first met Dr. Lori, it was because I had gone to a physical therapist, sports therapist in her building. I had a need of a therapist, and she happened to be in the building, and she had, for some miraculous reason, had a moment, and we sat down and began to talk. And of course, I'm interested in me. We all are. Our favorite subject is us.
Of course.
So I was asking her about me, and I asked her, well, what does it cost? Like, because I don't think insurance covers functional medicine yet. So I asked her what it cost, and she said, well, I can't answer that question. And she explained that what she does is she has a form that you can fill out, but then she has an interview with you. And she goes over you personally, like she'd listen to my favorite topic of me, and she would create a plan based on what I need instead of some robotic thing that she follows with every single person. And so I went and went to the link that she's providing. And I think, Linda, that we should provide this. Don't you think so, Dr. Lori? We should
Absolutely.
our viewers so that they could go and say, I want to have an interview with Dr. Lori. I want to know. And on that link, she's got a handout. So I read the handout and I took notes, Dr. Lori, because I have questions. So
Yes.
I'm gonna refer to my notes. Is that okay with you? That I
Yeah,
asked?
absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that maybe my questions would be some of the same kind of questions that other people would be interested in.
I'm sure. Yes.
Many women believe that menopause just means hot flashes. What's actually happening hormonally, and why do so many women suddenly gain weight, lose energy, or feel like a different person? In other words, what is really happening during pre-menopause, menopause, and perimenopause? What's really going on there?
Right. If you can picture, I don't have it with me, but I have a chart. And if you could draw literally 10 women's bodies, like just on a picture, and what happens is from birth and every 10 years, your estrogen levels go up. So at birth, they're very low. And then the gas tank fills up that obviously in your 20s into your 30s, this is your prime, I call them the baby making years. So your estrogen is at its highest. And then once the baby making years are over, the body's like, okay, we can start wrapping things up in here. And then the estrogen naturally on purpose starts declining because you don't need it anymore. So as that decline is happening, the most dramatic shift, if you had not been healthy prior to going into this time, is when women are noticing these problems, because it goes down rather quickly in that particular 10 years. So if your backup system is not in good shape, the women who have the hardest time going through perimenopause into menopause are the ones that didn't properly prepare for plan B, for your other systems and your other hormones to take over. And so that's when you start having symptoms, is it's the gap between where estrogen is going down and your other hormones are supposed to be going up. And the more deficient you are and the more dramatic perimenopause into menopause is, the more I know you didn't have the backup team coming to your rescue. Hot flashes is just one of many symptoms that happen or occur when the estrogen drops and also simultaneously the other hormones don't come to the rescue. So mood swings, weight gain, these are all just symptoms of not having enough of your other hormones. You have about 67 hormones, by the way. These are the things that women don't know. Estrogen and progesterone are very important, but they're only 2 of the 67. And during perimenopause, the other 65 are supposed to come to your rescue. And the more they don't come to the rescue, the more symptoms you have.
This is fascinating. That's fascinating. It means, I think, Linda, that we have to start being healthy when we're 35. We have to really.
It's absolutely true.
Yeah, our audience is women over 50 or 60. No, I think maybe our audience should be women over 30.
Right. A joke I use, it's not a joke, but it's a joke, is when I was early on in practice and it was back, I'm dating myself, but back when osteoporosis pretty much became an official diagnosis. That was into the late 80s, early 90s, where it really became to the forefront. And I went to one of my first functional medicine seminars, and the speaker on stage said, let's talk about osteoporosis. And we're all like, great, because we want to know what we do for these elderly women. And the doctor on stage says, the true problem with osteoporosis is that it's a puberty disease. And we all just sat there. We're like, excuse me? We're like, puberty? I mean, I'm like, what, we're talking about osteoporosis. Like all the doctors and I in the audience were looking at us like, what's this guy talking about? And then he went on to explain these, we just talked about, the functional component is that when you store the most calcium and vitamin D in your bones is during puberty. And then you use those reserves literally for the rest of your life. So osteoporosis is not a disease of the elderly. It's a disease of puberty where you didn't have proper storage. And that is true for not only osteoporosis, but perimenopause. These are all childhood diseases, so to speak, and childhood situations that the body is running out of reserves too prematurely. And that's most of what is going wrong in the medical model today, is you're trying to treat it where the problem is. And this started decades before.
Wow. I never knew
Yes.
that either. Wow.
I'm absolutely in shock.
Yes.
You were in shock as you were sitting in the audience, but oh my gosh,
Yes.
we have to expand our audience to teenagers.
You do. Well, that's why when people say, especially with modern branding, you have to pick a niche, pick a niche. I'm so tired of hearing pick a niche. I'm like, I picked women. And they're like, no, you have to tell me the decade, promo, marketing experts and gurus. It's like, I don't specialize in an age. I said, this is a situation that the woman's body goes through from birth till the end. And it's like, I'm not picking an age range. It's like, I will gladly speak more, like you're saying, because everyone wants to talk about themselves. But these problems, my message is universal. I would say the same thing to a 65-year-old woman that I would to a 25-year-old woman. It's just you're at a different phase of the same problem, but the message and the root causes are the same.
So the solutions might be age dependent, and also dependent on how much health you had created during the other years. I just realized I don't mind if you call me old. I'm 82. I'm doing pretty darn good for 82. And when I come to see you, I have very few complaints. But you know what? I just realized when you use the word elderly, I just realized I'm an elderly lady.
Age is just a number, as you know. But yes, the pretty much, and even, to a large degree, of course, the recommendations don't change by their age. That's why we do the functional medicine lab testing. You can look like you're a 65-year-old woman and only be 25. So I'm not here to use age as the guide. I look at your body's biochemistry. So if your hormone pattern looks like you're 65 and you're not, it doesn't matter to me. We are going to handle, again, the true functional areas that are not working well and handle it with the correct nutritional support. So you could end up having a 65-year-old woman and a 25-year-old woman on the exact same nutritional protocol. Wow. Highly unlikely, but it is possible because we're handling the individual.
I have a question because we're going to have a shorter episode than usual today. And I had a chance to look at the booklet that everyone watching this podcast will have access to. There's a link in the show notes. But could you actually just go over that and explain what people will learn reading the booklet? And then there will also be a link for how they can reach out to you to get an evaluation, correct?
That's absolutely, yes, okay. Absolutely. The overall, the booklet is, I'm sure you ladies done this as well, for your podcast and speaking, is this like, if I had a gun to my head and I had to tell you like the top 5 things you absolutely needed to know, like what would they be? And that's where the booklet came from, is like, if I could only share the best brilliance with you, the things that you can do that are going to get you, for the cliche, the best bang for your buck. Because right now, as you know, you can do everything. Everybody's selling a light, a laser, a therapy, a potion, a lotion. You can find it all. But if out of all of the things that you have available to you, if I only had to pick the 5 that would get you the most benefit, that's what the booklet is the top secrets. So the one is about the dietary modification. I don't know how much details you want me to give, but the one is about the best dietary modification that gets you the most improvements the quickest. The top environmental factors that are harming you the most. Of course, everyone will like, but what about this? And what about that? And what about this? So remember, what I'm looking at here is if you needed to make the best improvement in your health the fastest, which ones would do that to the best benefit? The dietary modifications that I suggest in the guide, the environmental factors and lifestyle habits I would encourage you to quickly change. And then overall, just, it's the biggest secret, and I don't even think this is in the guide, the biggest error that women come to me and they say, what should I start doing? And the secret is, it's actually what you need to stop doing. So literally, I've had patients have complete clinical miracles by just stop doing the bad habits or the bad advice they got off of social media. So the guide goes through like the top 5 things that if you had to change something, most of it is things you need to stop doing. So the guide is not telling you to do more. It is actually telling you to do less, because we have everything exactly backwards. So it's an interesting phenomena. I've seen it in other industries. It's not just a health industry. But the reason for that, in my opinion, is because everyone's trying to sell you something. If I tell you to stop something, I can't sell you anything because I can't sell you anything. So the fact that I'm telling you not to do this or not to do this or not to buy this or not to use this, it goes counterintuitively against, let's say, good business. But that's the difference about health. I'm not in it for the money. Of course, I need to make money to keep the doors open. But the whole idea is like, what is the most important outcome here is not, did someone make a lot of money? The biggest outcome is, did you restore your health? So right there, you already have a conflict of interest with literally every hospital and every social media marketer there is. Because their number one goal is to sell you something, and mine is to get you well. So I will tell you, the biggest secret is stop listening or doing just about 99% of what you've been told. And that alone will improve your symptoms at least 50%. So that's what the guide kind of, shatters.
Sure. All right. Well, I want to thank you for that. So this is part one, and we're going to make it two parts, because one of the things that she goes over in her booklet has to do with losing weight after menopause or perimenopause. So that's a big interest to me. Karen's got it slayed, but I do not. But I'm going to sum up what you just said, because there's two things. One is, why would a doctor give away this free advice that handles and heals people and not make money from it? So you're giving advice that other doctors may charge for free in this booklet. So everybody download the booklet. But the companion to that is, that's great. Now you've stopped doing things, but do you know what you actually need to do next? What do you need to do next? And that's where you go in and you get a full evaluation. And it's what's happening with your body immediately right now, not 5 years ago, and not a prediction for the future, but what's happening right now, what's working, what isn't, and what do you need to do to improve everything. And that's when they give you a call, which you can also contact Dr. Lori there. So with that, love your blonde hair too, by the way.
Thank you. I fit right in. Yes. Okay, good. I got the memo on the blonde hair for the podcast. So.
All right. We will schedule a second podcast with Dr. Lori, because she is fascinating. In the meanwhile, thank you so much for joining us today. Live a Platinum Prime life. Come to us for advice on how to do that, because we are really willing to share. And with that, take care, everyone. Bye.
Hey, everybody.